Chapter 3 Establishment of a Kingdom by Krodasura. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Brahmadeva continued the narration of the legend. He said, Lord Vishnu happily praised Ganesha, the one who loves his devotees and is the bestower of siddhis, by singing principal stotras. He was eager to abandon the form of Mohini. Just at that moment, Shiva was informed about the death of Bhasmasura. Hearing this news, Shiva was enthused. He danced in ecstasy, hailing, "Victory to Ganesha, victory to Gajanana." Shiva and all the Ganas went to the town named Mukundanagara. He saw Vishnu in the beautiful female form of Mohini. Shiva became enchanted and amazed. He was unaware that Mohini was a feminine form assumed by Vishnu. Shiva was mesmerized by her beautiful form and tried to seduce her. Realizing the intentions of Shiva, Vishnu in the form of Mohini fled from the scene. Shiva too, enraptured by her, chased her. Vishnu gave up his female form and assumed his original form. When Shiva reached the proximity of Vishnu, the truth dawned on him. But Shiva was so excited that his semen was discharged. He was demoralized. All the Devas happily returned to their respective abodes. Shiva joined them in the praise of Vishnu and returned to Kailash. From the semen of Shiva was born an Asura with a black powerful body and red eyes. This luminous Asura went to Shukracharya, paid his respects and said humbly, "O Muni, please accept me as your disciple and protect me." Shukracharya meditated and learnt of his background. The Mahamuni said to him, "O Asura, Shiva was infatuated by Mohini, who was a feminine form assumed by Vishnu, to delude a Daitya. When he realized that she was a form of Vishnu, he was disheartened. He realized that his mind did not have stability. He was determined to restrain his mind. While attempting to restrain himself, he became enraged and discharged semen, and you were born. Therefore, you shall be known in this world as Krodha, anger." Thereafter, the eminent Shukracharya, who was well versed in the scriptures, got Krodha's thread ceremony performed by Brahmins as ordained. He also performed the other holy samskaras as prescribed by Shastras. Krodha studied Vedas and all other scriptures under the tutelage of Shukracharya. He married Preeti, the daughter of Sambarasura, in a ceremony performed as prescribed in the sacred scriptures. Preeti was beautiful, graceful, attractive and sensuous. Later the radiant Asura went to Shukracharya, bowed humbly and said, "O Guru, with your permission, I wish to conquer the Brahmand. To achieve this, please initiate me into a mantra that shall grant me perpetual success." Brahma continued the narration of the legend. Hearing the request of Krodha, the all-knowing Shukracharya initiated him ritualistically into the mantra of Surya for the upliftment of Daityas. He accepted the mantra and after prostrating before him, went into a dense forest inhabited with tigers and other wild animals. There he commenced his penance undeterred. He chanted that superior mantra continuously, standing on one leg with his vision focused upwards towards the sun, and meditating on him in his mind, even remaining without any food. Not letting cold or heat bother him, he performed an austere penance. He became emaciated and resembled a piece of wood. After 1,000 heavenly years, Surya was pleased. He manifested to grant a boon and said in a deep resonating voice, "O fortunate Krodasura, ask for a boon. I shall grant it to you. I am pleased with your intense penance. O intellectual one, ask what you desire and I shall fulfill it." Hearing these words of lustrous Ravi, who had manifested before him, Krodasura offered pranams and performed puja of the illuminator of all. He once again offered pranams and sang the praise of Surya by chanting the Shaura Sukta. Surya said, "O Asura, ask for a boon. Whatever you may desire, I shall grant it to you. There is no doubt about it." Krodasura said, "O Lord, grant that I will not die at the hands of any of the Lord of Devas, who are responsible for creation, preservation and destruction. Make me capable of conquering Brahmand. O son of Aditi, grant me sovereignty over all animate and inanimate. Grant that I shall have a healthy life and that all my desires will be fulfilled. O Lord of Day, grant me that there shall be no one as powerful as I am. Please grant these wishes." Hearing the request of Krodasura, all Devas and Munis were terribly frightened. Surya was astonished as his demands were audacious. However, he had pleased Surya with his devotion. So Surya said, O Krodasura, I grant all your wishes. I am bound by your penance. Having said thus, an unhappy Surya returned to his loka. But Krodasura was euphoric. He happily returned to his house. All his well-wishers and friends were happy at the great success achieved by Krodasura. He went to Shukracharya, took his blessings, returned to his palace and lived in grandeur. He begot 2 sons from his wife Preeti, Harsha and Shoka. He indulged himself in various pleasures and became conceited. He invited Shukracharya, the one proficient in all doctrines, and under his aegis established a town. The town was called Avesha. It was meticulously planned and splendorous. All Daityas, Danavas and people of all the 4 classes came to live in the town. On this happy occasion, an Abhisheka enthroning Krodasura was performed by the learned Brahmins at the behest of Shukracharya. Krodasura appointed the 5 mighty and terrible Danavas as ministers. They were politically wise, great illusionists and valiant. They were Bali, Jaramba, Rahu, Ravana and Malyavana. Krodasura appeared as their appropriate leader. Other Danavas and Rakshasas served the mighty Krodasura with devotion. Thus ends the 3rd chapter titled Establishment of the Kingdom by Krodasura in the 5th Khand of the Purana Upanishad, Srimad Mudgal Puran, describing the legends of Lambodara, dedicated to Sri Gajanana. End of chapter 3.